Good morning, campers. Am I muted? I am not muted. Excellent. Gotta check that. Good morning, campers. Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're back on the ground in Bear Lake County. Loading directly into the save did not work because we didn't have control of the weather anymore, so we are leaving it on live weather and live time. Today is Saturday the 17th at 12:26 Pacific time in this part of Idaho. I believe they're on Mountain Time, so 13:26 Mountain Time. So we're going to go ahead and get this plane started. Let's see whether I remember much of this. Okay, so we've got the parking brake already set. Yeah, we're good. Okay. I did just watch the previous video to get the tail number for this airplane. Battery 2. Battery 1, and strobe light. We'll let the Garmin boot up to, there we go. We want our engine instruments there. Perfect. Okay, so we've got the mixture to full, and we want the throttle to full, right? I've got a throttle lever, should use that. Where's my trim on this plane? I have no clue. Anybody see our trim? Is it on the stick? Trim down, trim up, take off. Yeah, I have no idea how to read that. It's on the like stick behind this thing. That's fine. So we've got that to full. Let's set to prime. Fuel flow looks good. All right, set to boost. And bring that back. And just like 1/4 inch forward. All right, let's start the engine. Good start, I think. Let's look for 1,000 RPM. We're about 1,100. There we go. Nope, too low. Nailed it. All right. We did nail it, going right back up to 1,100. Close enough. Close enough. You know, that's good enough. All right, so let's go ahead and turn on my alternators and my avionics, as well as our pitot heat. Actually, no, we'll turn that off when we're going to take off. Nav lights. Let's get you on. So I've just given us a direct GPS back to Fort Bridger. Do we have AWOS here? I don't remember. Boop. Nope. So we're just going to use the cheat button, the B key. That set us to 29902, so that was obviously holding the... Oh, wow. 29993. All right, sure. So I've got Control B is set to go back to 2992. So tapping the B key, if my control button is stuck down, makes it go back to 2992. It's a good way to check and see if I have that held down. All right, standby, 1200, perfect. PFD, we're going to do bearing 1 on our GPS, and we're going to leave the course turned off. Back. That should be everything I need from there. Let's double check. So our VR 70 knot, VY 101. So I guess I think VY is actually like best climb, not approach speed. I don't know what good approach speeds are for that. I haven't read any of the manual for this airplane, so we're just kind of winging it. Jokes. But I think we're set up pretty well here. Oh, can I see the, does that show me the trim now? Nope. There's no indication whatsoever what our trim is. Right? Can we see the trim tab on our wing from the seat? Well, that tells me we've got some wind. The fact that the plane's moving when I adjust the trim. Let's just pop outside. Oh, right, I've got the HUD turned off. Drone cam? There we go. I don't see any of those moving. I don't see anything changing. Cool. Alright, so let's just try and eyeball it somewhere in the middle. With the, I've got an actual, like, wheel on my throttle for controlling the trim. There we go. So that should be a little bit nose up, I think. Back into the plane. Actually, let's go ahead and, while I'm here, set up pretty camera. I finally figured out how to do this. 2, 3, 4. I think 2 is my favorite out of these. Perfect. Okay, so now we can do that, and that's regular outside view, and that's cockpit view. Perfect. So now drum button, straight out there. Perfect. Inside button, outside button. All right, cool. All right, got that set. Propeller's not anything, so we're going to go ahead and set that to full. And our altitude, we're at 5,940 feet, but if I remember right, this plane doesn't do mixture properly, so we'll leave that where it is. Excellent. And we're on 1228. Perfect. And we're totally going to try and use VSync for this flight. Let's see. Alt-Tab. I have no idea if you guys can see this panel, but we're going to connect. We are November Charlie 22 Foxtrot Bravo. Type code. SR22. SR22, perfect. Connect. Cool, I think we're in. LA Center? I don't think we're close enough to talk to LA Center. That's fine. Or 1258. We're not on 1258 at all. Perfect. We're just going to stay on 1228 because we're just flying to 2 uncontrolled airports, and we're not doing any VFR flight following. Just, you know, might occasionally hear some other people talking, and I'll be able to just transmit my own intentions on that frequency. Let's go ahead and I think we're good to roll. I don't think there's anyone anywhere near me anyway, so. Parking brake. Boop. Watch out for the fuel box. Anyone see the, before we go anywhere, let's fly the drone to a windsock. Windsock, a windsock. Faster, please. Thank you. The game likes to put windsocks at the ends of runways. Perfect. Alright, so a little breezy, not gonna lie. from that direction. There's only 2 runways here, so this is the one that's closest to being useful. So we're just going to bring the plane down here to this end of the runway, turn it around, and take off. That's not the right button. That button? There we go. Whoop. What runway was that? Whoops. Might as well show you guys this while we do it. Sky Vector. Lucky. Hey, look at that. Lone Pine. Oh, right. I'm working on getting the bush trips redone back up to where I was. So that's why we're looking at that. There's Salt Lake. There's the Wasatch. There's Fort Bridger. Yeah, Fort Bridger. Yep. So we are up here. Let's see. 1719. October 17th, 1915 Zulu Auto. Winds 240 at 19, gusting to 25 knots. So yeah, it's almost straight down our runway. Perfect. Bear Lake County. Can I just see? Oh, what a horrible looking website. I hope that's not just how that looks. Yeah. Yes, hi. Air nav. Bear Lake County. 1U7 is the number for the airport. Let's see. Do we have a chart at all for this airport? No. So we got runway 16, runway 34, runway 10, runway 28. I think 28 was the one that we were going to use there. All right. Let's just so we can quick reference this. I'm nervous because I'm not used to flying on that sim. So I'm just like triple checking everything. Satellite view. Airport. Yeah, 28. That's 28. Cool. And then back inside. I'm just trying to get the script right in my head before I start talking. Let's start moving again. All right, I had the parking brake on, didn't I? Because I'm responsible. I just realized we're just going to be going straight into the runway, so I might as well just call the takeoff. How much runway do we have to work with here? Decent chunk, but I'm not sure it's enough. Okay, so the looking around's not terribly smooth right now. I'm not getting the best frame rates, that's fine. Bear Lake County traffic, November Charlie 22 Foxtrot Bravo is taxiing to runway 28, back taxi down the runway. Alright, so hopefully that's clear enough. I don't hear anybody else on this frequency, so I think we're fine. Might not be using the exact right phrasing, but it's better to give too much information than not enough when you're at an uncontrolled airport. But hey, no one's around, so it doesn't matter. I can be as imprecise as I want. Do. Alright, so our exact flight plan for today, we're going to fly south toward the lake. We're going to fly along the lake, check out the city of Bear Lake alongside the shore of Bear Lake. And we're going to follow Highway 30. Oh, nailed it. Like, straight into the wind. Oh, that's what I need to do. Bear Lake County traffic, November Charlie 22 Foxtrot Bravo is clear of the runway for run-up at the approach end of runway 28. Alright. Not that there's anyone around, so let's get our parking brake on. Ding. Okay. And we'll go ahead and turn our transponder to altitude. And we've got our altimeter already set back. I need wind. That's what I forgot. I forgot to bring up the wind thing on this. Just because this thing cheats and gives me wind numbers, even when we're on the ground, when it's not supposed to. That's valuable information. Okay. Good, good. We're going to go ahead and all these are all set. Let's just run up the engine real quick. There we go, 2,000 RPM. I know it didn't work last time. We're going to test the mixture, see if anything happens. Nothing. Best mixture button? Nothing, so just set that to full. Alright, let's test the Magnetos. Ah, that was the wrong button. We wanted to go left. Thank you. So, left. RPM's dropped. Back to both. Alright, and then we're going to set to... Okay, can I just please... There we go. And we're going to set that to right. RPM drops. Good, so those are both working. And really don't have much of anything else to test on the run-up. We're in good shape across the board as far as that goes. So let's get our flaps to take off. Flaps are in position. Control surfaces are working. Alright. I think we're ready to roll. Is there anything else I need to do before we take off? Landing light. Pitot heat. It was 24 degrees outside, but we don't know how cold it is aloft because I did not get any information before I departed this airport. We are on the right fuel tank. What time is it? Local time 13:45. Oh, we should be on the left fuel tank. And left is going to be a little more full because we've been taxiing around on the right. So that's good. All right, so gas, undercarriage, mixture, prop, flaps, lights, and seatbelt. We're good on seatbelt. Let's get out of here. Brakes. Release the parking brake. Perfect. Bear Lake County traffic, November Charlie 22 Foxtrot Bravo is taking off runway 28, departure to the south. Nobody around. Okay. Let's do this thing. This is a left traffic runway, so we're just going to stay in the pattern. And then turn out of the pattern and head south. Airspeed's alive. Little windy. Whoop. Easy, easy. These aren't the smoothest rudder pedals, if you can't tell. Rotate. Come on, plane just up in the air. Come on. There we go. Positive rate of climb. We're just gonna let the plane weather vane into the wind a little bit. Just keep climbing. Alright, gain some speed here. Track the flaps. 101. Alright, back to climbing. Ooh, power lines. Ooh, those are close. It's a good thing those aren't simulated. Alright, let's get trim for a climb here. There we go. I don't have to hold the stick back. That's good. Bear Lake County traffic, November Charlie 22 Foxtrot Bravo is departing airspace to the south. Last message. Okay, so that's all the calls we need to do for takeoff, I think. I have no idea. I'm just mimicking things I've heard on the internet, because I don't know what I'm doing, because I'm a truck driver, not a pilot. Alright, let's get this closed. Got about 10 minutes before we switch fuel tanks. There's Bear Lake opening up in front of us. It's gorgeous. We're going to keep a slight climb here. Because as much as I love this plane, we don't need to be super low for this trip. Just leave the autopilot off. But let's zoom out on... There we go. That'll help. And we're going to... Oh, I should check and make sure... Nope. That's not the right button. There we go. Check and make sure... Oh, no, it didn't register mode C on there. Good to know. Note to self, check that before takeoff. Yeah, we're on altitude mode in the sim, so I don't know why that didn't update. But yeah, so this lake is a very popular tourist destination for Salt Lake City because it's got a beach. Not the best beach, but a beach in Utah. We should be crossing into Utah any second now if we haven't already. Don't know exactly where that happens. It's somewhere south of Paris, Idaho, which is the city behind us. Fancy camera. That's a loud camera. Ah. Alright, how are all of our temperatures looking? Oil's good, fuel flow, good. CHT, I have no idea if that's good or not. But nothing happens when I change the mixture. So, no clue. I should stay at, for now I should stay at, what's our heading? 182? Ooh. Alright, well as long as we're... Okay, we're going to be going slightly east as we fly over this lake, so we're going to go ahead and go to an odd and a half altitude. I think 7.5 ought to be... well, we're already almost there at 9.5. Let's go for that. Then we will get the autopilot on. Let's go ahead and...
Engaging autopilot.
Oh, fancy! It talks to you. That's cool. Alright, we're going to let that creep up to 9,500, and then we're going to bring the throttle back, and we're going to tap the altitude hold button. Perfect. Can I get heading hold? Yes, and that will automatically put the heading onto where I'm pointed. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's slide over to the passenger seat. Oh, look at that. Don't do that in a real airplane, folks. Don't change seats mid-flight, ever. In a small airplane. I'm sure you could do that with permission in a bigger airplane. So what we're looking for here, we're looking for Utah Highway 30, which I don't honestly know. Is that it? Ooh, the ground texture is a little bit blurry here, so it doesn't seem like a big enough area for that to have been it. I think it's further south. No, we're almost to the southern end of the lake. Oh, I think this is it up here. So I think this is Utah 30. This is one of the most dangerous grades that I've gone down in my own truck. I picked up a load of beef in Hiram, Utah once, and came up Logan Canyon, which is to the west of here, on Highway 30, and dropped down this super twisty road. No escape ramp on this road anywhere, but it ends in a T intersection down in the city, which is currently here. So yeah, it's like super steep, and it ends in a city at a T intersection with there's a building across the street. So about, I want to say 2 months after I drove this road for the first and last time, a truck lost their brakes coming down this hill and just plowed into the store on the opposite side of the intersection. So it's not a safe, not the safest road in this area, that's for sure. How is my speed looking? Creeping up. Let's 2,500 RPM should be a pretty good RPM, honestly. Like, it would be super cool if the plane just held this, which I think it might. But yeah, as you can see, not a road you want to come flying down. I think I pulled over, because it's only one lane down the hill, 2 lanes up the hill. I think I pulled over somewhere around on this leg, just to let traffic by, because I was going so slow down this mountain. There was a shoulder here, so yeah, I pulled over there and stopped and let people go by, and then resumed my downhill. I was doing entirely engine braking down the hill, so I didn't touch my brakes except to stop there. And still terrifying. But yeah, you can see right here, just down the hill, gentle turn into the city. They really need an escape ramp right about here, and then turn into the city and straight into a building if you're not careful. This is just a 3-way stop, this intersection. There's no stoplight there. It's terrifying. But yeah, then instead of going straight across, I went, because I was under control when I came into town, I just turned right and headed down this highway. This is also US 89 as well as Utah 30. This is Utah 30. This is... Actually, no, I think this is both 30 and 89 as well. Yeah, so Utah 30 goes this way, 89 goes north. Yeah, 89 goes north to Paris and Montpelier, Idaho. And then Utah 30 goes south and then turns to the east and enters into Wyoming and meets up with US Highway 30 over there. Briefly becomes Wyoming 89. But yeah, there's just there's a beach down here. It's a beach in Utah, which is unexpected. So it's this huge tourist town. It's fantastic. It's really neat. Kind of surreal. I did not realize I was heading up into a touristy area when I did it, when I took this road, or I probably would have changed my route, because it slowed me down a lot. All the traffic up here. But it's like, this is a vacation spot, and then the beach gets super rocky down here, but there's a lot of free parking along the highway through this area, so a lot of people just pull over on the side of the road and go down to the rocky bits of beach, because they're not monetized, I guess. I don't know what the word for that would be. But yeah, it's hard to see here, but the highway does just snake right along the coast. I don't know why it's hard to see. It shouldn't be hard to see. I've got my textures turned up a decent amount. Let's turn our heading to the left. Yeah. Do 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 do. Am I clear of those mountains? Mostly. So yeah, you can see the highway enters this town and then climbs up through this narrow notch in these hills. There is a truck escape ramp in this hill. Why there isn't on the much steeper hill on the other side, I do not know. But the downhill traffic here does have an escape ramp. Haven't seen it used personally. I've only done this trip once in a truck, but it's in there. I'm not going to be flying directly over that, unfortunately, so we won't get to see the exact road. But I do need to keep following that road, so let's aim ourselves a little bit more to the right here. Hello, wind. I don't know if the road is... Oh, yeah, I think that might be the road there. Is it in this valley or this one? I think this is it, actually. Potentially? Well, there's also a road over here, though. But which one is which? We're just going to pop outside real quick to get a better look. That button. There we go. Yeah, no, I think this is a dirt road, so it's going to be this one over here. Yeah, this one is the main highway. Good, 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 good. See, we're following along. We're paying attention. And we should meet up with US 30 somewhere over in this area. Perfect. Back inside. Doot. Wrong button. Doot. Still wrong button. Got it. Back to the pilot seat, please. All right, let's aim a little more to the left. That's not the right button. That's the right button. Gosh, it's gorgeous out here, isn't it? Navigating mostly by eyesight, I can turn this off and still have a pretty good idea of where we are just from knowing this area from driving it a few times. As well, I've only driven the highway under us once. I've driven the highway over here many, many times. So this whole area is, at the very least, familiar. Very familiar. Time 1400. Time to switch tanks. Alright, so we want to switch to the right tank. Ding! Oh, and we can turn the fuel pump off now that we're in the air. Still holding about 2500 RPM. Good speed. I've got a notification from Instacart, which is weird because I don't use Instacart. We got some weird pixelation happening on our dashboard because of the shadow. That's fine. Oh, is this the trim tab? Does that move? Huh? Note to self, don't play with that in the air. Are we still on autopilot? Did I just turn off autopilot? No. Okay, cool. We're good. Oh, that was a... Why did I do that? My poor plane. My poor rented plane. That's the fiction we're going with, right? How is the outside air temperature looking right now? We are at 20 Celsius. 20 Celsius, so that's about 75, 72, 75 Fahrenheit. So yeah, we flew up this valley on the previous trip, and then continued up this valley towards Cokeville and Cokeville Meadows and the airport up there, and we cut through Border Summit in order to get to the airport. And here's going to be our new highway. There's Highway 30 right there. So yeah, we're in Wyoming now, or we should be crossing into Wyoming any second now. So this is Wyoming 89 instead of Utah 30. Same road. And then this is US Highway 30, which the whole reason that Utah named this road Highway 30 is so that people would realize it's a viable alternate route to US 30. Just a primary east-west, small but slightly lower traffic highway across northern Utah. At least I assume that's why they numbered it 30. Doesn't really make much sense else otherwise. But yeah, Highway 30 goes... Utah Highway 30 goes over the summit west of Bear Lake, drops down into Logan, Utah, from the east, and then it cuts out of Logan going due west and meets up with I-15. It joins up with I-15 and follows I-15 down to Interstate 84, and then follows Interstate 84 west a few miles, and then splits off from 84 and goes direct down to the Nevada border, and then changes into a Nevada highway whose number slips my mind at the moment, but the Nevada highway meets up with Interstate 80 east of Wells. So it's a viable east-west highway if you're looking for alternate routes that avoid Salt Lake City for whatever reason. Also, generally, a little bit better in the snow. I don't know about that summit near Bear Lake. Might not be great in the snow. There's the intersection down there. Wyoming 89 / Utah 30 and US Highway 30. US highways are like state highways, but they share numbers across state borders, whereas state highways are just numbered with the state and then the number. And you can see we're crossing our direct path from airport to airport here. And we're going to keep heading east and fly over some more areas that I like, because this is a scenic flight. We're out here for scenicking. We're out here to be scenery. Yeah, I wouldn't really want to go through Logan Canyon in the snow, but it might be better than parlays on some days. Probably not many, though, come to think of it. Though, when I'm heading up to Idaho, I do prefer US Highway 30, because Border Summit and... what's the other one? Border Summit and... it's north of... It's named for a town that's north of Montpelier. There's another small hill. It's not much of one, but they're both way easier in the snow than the Sisters and Echo Canyon. And the multitude of steep grades on 84. Fish Creek Summit is the one in Idaho before you get to Interstate 15 again. I don't know. It's much preferred route in the snow than the more mountainous interstate route. And the truckers that take this road tend to be less aggressive drivers. As far as I can tell. I've seen some nasty accidents on this road, to be entirely honest, but still not the worst. You don't get like the mega fleet drivers cruising at 70 on this highway in the snow like you do on the interstates. We're just trying to keep US Highway 30 in our sight because that's how we're navigating. We're doing what is called dead reckoning, which is just, you know, we're watching the scenery, we know which way we're going, and we're just following the terrain to our destination because I know where we're going. Wow, that was some gust. That is some wind. Good gravy. 271 at 15 knots, a tailwind at least, so that's nice. Oh, are we coming up on camera? Or is this Fossil Butte? This might be Fossil Butte. Yeah, I think this is Fossil Butte. Off to our left, which is a national monument. Yep, it is. Okay, so this is US 30 here, and then there's the Fossil Butte Visitor Center somewhere along this road. Possibly this right here. Just a lot of dinosaur skeletons been dug up in this area on this butte called Fossil Butte. Surprisingly, full of fossils. Probably why they call it that, come to think of it. I've driven through here so many times, and I've never actually stopped to visit this area because I didn't realize it was that close to the highway. Like, there's signs for it, but I just assumed it was off in the middle of nowhere. I didn't realize it was just like that right there is Fossil Butte. I wish I'd stopped because they have parking for larger vehicles. I think it's meant for RVs, not trucks, but hey, better to ask forgiveness than permission, and parks that have room for trucks are usually pretty truck friendly, especially if you're polite. And you don't actually have to enter the park in order to get to the visitor center. Which in this case, I don't think you do. I think the visitor center is outside the park. If you have to go into the park to visit, then they usually don't want trucks. But if the visitor center is like on the edge of the park, and they've got room for you, and it's like not busy, you know, it's cool. Most of them are fine with you taking on multiple parking spots. If they don't need those parking spots for other people, yeah, why not? Some visitor fees are better than none, right? But yeah, these canyons that US 30 snakes through here are some of the places where I've had the most close calls with deer in this entire region. Just double check, make sure we're good on our VAT sim. Yep, haven't interacted with literally anybody. That's cool. Not doing the flight following thing because we don't have a controller covering this area. I'm surprised it's giving me LA Center as an option, because I think this should be Salt Lake Center up here. I do not know. If they wanted to talk to me, they'd ping me through the app. I just realized I didn't file a flight plan. Whoops. Alt-tab, I knew I forgot something. Flight plan. Departure airport was Shift tab. 1U7? 1U7. And we're going to KFBR. 1U7. We are VFR. KFBR. Departure time is was 2000. Zulu. Cruise speed. Let's say 120 knots. Cruise altitude. Too high. 9 or 500. Time en route. Let's just say an hour. Alternate airport. KRCS. Is that Rock Springs? Rock Springs. RKS. Yes. VFR. Remarks. New pilot. Scenic. Sightseeing. File. Indicate your voice capability. Send and receive. Ding. Okay, whoops. All good. That would be Kemmerer down here. So the Kemmerer way station right here pulls me in every time I pass through this city. Every single time. Which actually I want to go back inside and we need to turn our plane a lot. Because I was filing my flight plan and missed the turn. Yeah, this is the city where the first J.C. Penney was located. Fun fact. I believe it is still there. Yeah, there's a nice little bypass route around the city. You go through the way station. They make you stop and check your paperwork, and then they release you, and you get to just drive around the outside of the city. It's one of the smallest cities I know of that has a bypass route. It's kind of fantastic. The way station. I've been pulled into this way station so many times they know me by name. Alright, looking for our highway. There's a power station around here somewhere. I always see the smoke from it at the way station. Oh, is that the highway there? Yep, okay, so that's it. Below our right wing. There it is. Oops. Alright. Back to the left. I know where I'm going. So there's another highway that'll go off to our right somewhere behind us, and that heads down to that intersection near near the sisters that we saw on the previous trip. Just on the other side of the mountains from the highway to heaven spot. That should split off like around here somewhere and go that way. So that would be a viable route to get us back to Fort Bridger, but with the wind as strong as it is, we're just going to take the scenic route. We're going to follow 30 all the way back to Interstate 80 and follow Interstate 80 to Fort Bridger. That way we're coming in like almost direct at the runway into the wind. And besides, it's a sightseeing tour, and I want to see what Little America looks like in this. Yeah, Kemmerer Airport is a Class Echo, so it's fine that we just cruise through their airspace without talking to anybody. We're on the CTAF channel, so CTAF Common Traffic Advisory Frequency, which on VATSIM is 1228. So any uncontrolled airports, pilots will be calling out their intentions on that, and there's no one else around us apparently, so we don't need to worry about that. Just like straight up nobody anywhere near me. Which I believe VATSIM is turning my frequency knob instead of my heading knob. I believe VATSIM is injecting traffic into the game, and we're not on AI at the moment. So, if there are other people around, we should see them, if it's working right. And it appears to be working right, mostly. It sees my radio frequencies in vPilot. Doesn't seem to see my transponder status, but hey. Nobody's perfect. I have not tested it to see whether or not I can change my transponder code and get that accepted. I've only flown VFR on VATSIM, and not yet in anywhere that someone was actually controlling. At some point, I will interact with air traffic controllers. It will happen someday, and then I will get assigned a squawk code, and then we will see whether it works. But for right now, just VFR. Is this Opal? Yeah, this might be Opal. One of the worst wrecks I have ever seen was just over here, where two semis hit each other going like 70 head on, because one of the semis was trying to pass a car in a blind turn. Yeah, very nasty accident. That's like nothing left of either vehicle, both just obliterated by that impact. And the car was fine, so, you know. Yeah, one of the worst accidents I've seen in my entire career. But this is the city of Opal. This is an old railroad city. Pretty much nothing, like nothing but, like this city would not exist if it were not for that railroad, which still goes through it. And there's a little spot in here where, yeah, right here, where trucks come in and load up on fuel for Pilot Flying J, I believe. And then they can fill up, I assume they fill up from rail cars and then go out and deliver to gas stations all over this part of the country, which is kind of neat. So that's like the only thing this town has going for it now. This town has a population of like 50 in the entire town. All right, so then the railroad goes off that way. The highway keeps going straight. This is the first time that the two are really separate from each other for a while. If I'm right about where we are. Yeah, we need to follow that road, because we are looking for Little America. Did not realize this road curves slightly to the north. That's interesting. It's so hard to see it. Like, if you lose track of it, it's so easy to get lost out here. It's just the terrain is not particularly conducive to seeing where everything is. A lot of houses. I don't think that's our road. Okay, so that's the road there, passing underneath us. So I think that's it. Should be going mostly east-southeast. So that fits with what I expect if that's the road here, because it's all local roads that go through the actual valley part here. If Salt Lake Center happens to come online while we're flying, we will ask for flight following, just so I can say I've done it. It is a Saturday, so the odds of a controller just popping online are higher than usual. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is still Highway 30 down here. It's difficult to follow. So this might be the city of Granger, Wyoming. So Little America should be somewhere over here, and then the interstate should be, I think, along this, right along here. Not 100% sure. Yeah, see, I think this is the interstate, this line on the map. So then this is the Class Echo airspace around Fort Bridger, which is extensive. But we are here to see Little America, not set up, not purely just to set ourselves up on the approach. Which the approach would be nice, but you know. We might honestly, if the wind is really bad at Fort Bridger, we might just land on the dirt runway. Because it'll be more into the wind. This thing can handle dirt, I think. Trying to follow the highway. I think the highway kind of bends off to the right here. Gotta be careful to make sure I don't accidentally end up following one of the old routes of the highway that just splits off from it at various points. It's hard to keep, like, the only thing I have going for me is this one looks a little bit more like it's paved than the other one. And it does seem vaguely familiar to me. I like the cloud shadows permanently rendered onto the terrain. That's pretty amusing. We'll know we've taken a wrong turn if the road goes into Granger. But I think we're good, because it's all over here. Somewhere. There's not a lot of towns out here. Yeah, so I think we're going to meet up with Interstate 80 right around here somewhere. And then Little America will be somewhere in that mess. It sure looks like a highway. I believe these are all oil wells out here. A lot of petrochemical companies that own tons of land up here. Lots of drilling. We have Interstate 80 around here. So, oh, I know where we are. I know this bridge. So this is a bridge over a railroad line. So, and the interstate's actually going to be over here. Okay, I think. Oh, this might be it. There. Gosh, it's hard to tell. This is not the most detailed, Bing Maps texture we've ever gotten. That's for sure. Am I zoomed in on the instruments right now? Yes, I was. Okay. It does some weird things with your field of view when you're zoomed in on the instruments themselves. This bridge, super dangerous because it elevates you a little bit above the terrain and you get a little bit of a wind tunnel effect along the rail line. So sometimes you get some real nasty crosswinds as you cross the bridge, which is tons of fun when it's snowing. And of course it's a slightly curved bridge, which is irritating. You prefer the road to stay straight when it goes up into the air, but yeah. So Fort Bridger's going to be somewhere off to our right out there. This is cool. I feel like I know where we are. actually accomplishing navigation by pure memory of having driven here before. Yeah, it really looks like we're about to intercept Interstate 80. In fact, yep, that's it there. So this is Little America. Let's turn left and overfly the truck stop. Yeah, Interstate 80. We want to actually get the interchange in view. There it is. Nice big trumpet. Not quite a trumpet. It doesn't have... actually, no, it looks like it does. Yeah, I think it is a full trumpet. I think you've got a ramp that goes whoop, and onto Route 30. I don't think I've ever actually, going east, taken this exit and gotten on 30. I've only ever come west and gone east from it. But this is the place I want to show you guys. So we need to turn left. That was not left enough. Are we still good? 27, so we're about to switch fuel tanks. So this truck stop down here is one of... we can actually see traffic down there now. There's, as you can tell, there's way more traffic on the actual freeway. You can literally see trucks printed in the texture. It's one of the busiest freeways in the entire state. Actually, I think it might be the busiest freeway in the state of Wyoming. That's Little America. So it's this giant hotel complex here, and there's a truck stop bit here, repair shop, and fire station. And it's just this lovely truck stop. There's so much parking. You can come here in the middle of the night and usually still get a spot, because people start parking illegally up here before they fill in these back spots. It is one of the nicest truck stops in the country, and it has like full-blown marble tubs in the shower rooms, so you can take a bath if you want, not just like a dingy shower. And F12. Alright, we're going to try and get the... it's cool. I could very well be one of the trucks in this picture. I parked here a lot. I would probably be somewhere around here if one of those is me. I like the back row. I'm very fond of the back row at the truck stop. Alright, so we want the bearing needle to kind of line up with the 22, which, 23, 22, yeah, so this, we want the bearing needle to kind of point this way before we try to jump on that. Actually, honestly, let's just aim directly at the bearing needle and go for runway 25. Can I load the GPS approach? RNAV 22. Yeah, single work. We're just gonna straight up activate it. And CDI to nav mode, nav mode. Nav? Yay, okay. Let's go ahead and bring up the runway 22 RNAV. There we go. So sing transition. So we want a course of 224, and final approach fix is Lacer at 8,700. So we'll just drop down to 8,700, and that the final approach fix was where we got our glide slope info. So 8,700 on altitude knob, 8,000, 700. We want vertical speed down 500. And flight plan. Nope, not that one. We want this one. There we go. User to Lacer. That should be fine. We're going to switch back to heading hold mode here, actually. And fly direct to Lacer. Which I think this is aiming at. I'm not entirely sure. Which I don't honestly know if it's going to let me cheat and just go direct to Lacer. Like, it seems to want me to fly this weird pattern to get into that, and we're just kind of trying to cut it a little bit. I got glide slope information, it looks like. That's fun. Let's go ahead and prepare ourselves for landing. We've got our landing lights still on from before. How's our fuel looking? We're going to switch to the left tank. Our power is in a pretty good spot. We're going to turn the fuel pump on. We should have done that before I switched tanks. Can we get Fort Bridger AWAS? Airport list. Let's go ahead and use COM 2, actually. Fort Bridger. AWAS.
Kilo Foxtrot Bravo Romeo automated weather observation 200.
254 at 24.
Wind 254 at 24. Visibility tree.
Okay, that's exciting. Oh yeah. So assuming we get our GPS course to line up with our new waypoint before we get there, then we'll snap it into approach hold mode and do our call. That's our turn off flight plan, and we want nearest. So we're just looking for our flight plan to update. Come on. Give me Lasser. It is so close. I did not get the altimeter for that.
Kilo Foxtrot Bravo Romeo automated weather observation 2000 Zulu. Wind 251 at 22. Visibility tree. Sky condition few clouds at 1,100 feet. Few clouds at 4,100 feet. Few clouds at 12,100 feet. Temperature 8C dew point 10C altimeter 29908.
29908.
Kilo Foxtrot Bravo.
Does not look like we're getting the cooperative. Okay, so flight plan. Can I have... Dude, thank you. Activate leg? Nope. Activate leg? Yay, okay. So now, approach, hold, please. GPS, approach, hold, glide slope. Excellent. 29908. And then flight plan can go away. We want nearest. Fort Bridger traffic, November Charlie 22 Foxtrot Bravo is on 10-mile final for runway 22. Okay. Now we're gonna bring our power back. And let the plane pitch up to lose speed. Thanks to the autopilot. We've got a nice GPS glide slope here, and it's perfectly lined up with our runway, so there's no reason not to use it, right? There we go. Let's get a notch of flaps down. Gas, undercarriage, mixture, propeller, flaps, lights. Still haven't caught the glide slope, but we're not at Lasser yet. So since we weren't flying the original course, I went ahead and set it for we did activate approach instead of load approach. If you load approach, it adds it to the end of your flight plan. If you activate approach, it just starts the approach from wherever you are, which gave us this handy GPS route. If it was slightly better set up, it would have given us, I think, direct to Lasser, or we should have used the other transition and would have sent us down here and then up. But either way, it appears we're going to catch the glide slope here. Alright, a little more power, obviously. Plane, please, no crashing. There we go. Alright, now we're descending. We can continue to power back. Fort Bridger traffic, November Charlie 22 Foxtrot Bravo is on 5-mile final for runway 22. Gas, undercarriage, mixture, Flaps and seatbelt. Seatbelt. Can't forget the seatbelt. Alright, I think 1 notch of flaps is going to be more than enough for this landing because we got quite a wind here, so you don't want to get too aggressive on that. Alright, flying in on the glide slope. I don't see the runway just yet. Oh, no, there it is. Right in the middle of my screen. Perfect, okay. So if the wind is really bad right at the surface, we can use this approach to get onto 25 since they share the exact same start point. We can just bank right and land on 25. If need be. We're in a nice stable approach here. Coming in a little bit fast, and that's fine. Fort Bridger traffic, November Charlie 22 Foxtrot Bravo is on short final for runway 22. Actually, I think this is not quite short final, but it's fine. Alright, we are approaching minimums.
500.
500. Disconnect autopilot. Little high according to the Pappy. No, wait, it's... Okay, we're good. We're on glide slope here. Alright, aim for the numbers. Watch that wind. Little off center. And let it float. We got all the runway in the world. Easy, easy. Still not a single other soul anywhere near me in the entire flight. I love it. Hour and 20 minutes, not bad, not bad. Considering how much sightseeing we did, I think that's actually a decent time for this flight. But we're back at Fort Bridger, and that means that our next leg is going to be back in the Barren. We're going to fly to another airport where I want to do some sightseeing in the area. At least our next main video, I guess. Might not be as many videos next week because I've only got today to record them because I'm working Sunday. So we will see what I'm able to get done here. I've got a lot of right rudder just to keep straight while taxiing. Gotta be careful because it is a tailwind, so we were getting pretty fast there, even though it wasn't showing anything on our airspeed indicator. Landing lights off, I think. Yes. Fort Bridger traffic, November Charlie 22 Foxtrot Bravo is clear of the runway. Okay. That's a brutal back taxi right there. Alright, so nav, strobe, we can turn the nav off, we can turn the pitot heat off, now we're on the ground. Yes, I know. Terrible that I've turned off the pitot heat. Avionics good. Trim. Okay, so now we're on the ground. Let's see what happens when I adjust the trim. Absolutely nothing. That's irritating. Well, let's again try to center it by eyeballing it on my dashboard. Alright, and then fuel pump still on while we're on the ground. Our fuel tanks are still both good. Let's retract the flaps. And we're going to switch our transponder to standby. And we're going to alt-tab into this. We're going to turn off mode C. And then we're just going to get ourselves parked here. So I think, obviously, whoever we rented this aircraft from is going to want it back in their hangar. So we're just going to park it right in front of this building and return it to the whoever owns it here. So that should do nicely. Parking brake. Yeah, the airplane is cleaned up. Let's turn our avionics off. And we can turn off both alternators. And we can pull back the mixture to cut off the engine. Success! Not done. Cut off the engine. Success. Alright, and fuel tank off, fuel boost off, beacon light off, and battery lights off. And that's it. Airplane is cold and, or well, it's not that cold. I mean, it is, you know, like 8 Celsius outside, so it's kind of cold. Kind of chilly and dark. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Ellie O'Dare. You can find me on the internet at Ellie O'Dare, on Xbox Live and Steam and whatnot. Come say hello on Twitter. Twitter's the best place to get a hold of me. If you want to see what I'm doing, I'm on there all the time. Oh, I think someone actually like logged on to I don't know what these mean. But they would have pinged me if they wanted to talk to me. But yeah, so we are, come say hi, you can leave comments below. I do read them all because I am still a tiny channel. So thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye! Gotta love a VATSIM video in which you don't hear a single other voice the entire flight. Good first VATSIM.